Hey, this is Nat, and we're off our couch about 62 miles east from Biloxi, Mississippi, and about 122 miles west from Pensacola, Florida, visiting Mobile, Alabama, and the USS Alabama Battleship Memorial Park. The USS Alabama Battleship Memorial Park is dedicated to the citizens of Alabama who have served in the different branches of the United States Armed Forces and proudly showcases the USS Alabama, the American warship, a 25,000-ton South Dakota-class battleship, one of the 4 fast South Dakota-class battleships built for the Navy to defend during World War II. The park includes more than just the USS Alabama, though. The USS Drum, the oldest American submarine on public display, which also served during World War II, is here, along with the Aircraft Pavillion, an impressive collection of aircraft, historical vehicles, and war artifacts. Plus, there are more tanks, planes, memorials on the outside of the park. Obviously, we have a lot to explore, a lot of information to read and take in. First, though, before we get started, let's talk admission details. Parking is $5. Admission prices do vary based on age. The website link will be in the description for detailed amounts. There are also discounts for veterans and AAA members. Active duty military is free, and those discount details are also on the website. And again, that link is in the description. Admission is purchased in the Aircraft Pavillion, which is where we will begin. So we are walking through the Medal of Honor Aircraft Pavillion. That is the full name. This pavilion is dedicated to all of the state of Alabama's Medal of Honor recipients. Hence the name of the pavilion. There is a wall dedicated to the recipients who have earned the highest military decoration in the United States. Service members who have performed incredible and heroic feats in battle. Other parts of this pavilion that are notable is the Red Ball Express display. The Red Ball Express was mostly made up of African American men who were not allowed to see combat during World War II due to racial discrimination. These men ran supplies to the front lines during the war. There's also a red-tailed P-51 airplane, like the planes flown by the famous Tuskegee Airmen. This plane is named in honor of Captain Leon Roberts, the first African-American U.S. military pilot to engage in aerial combat against an enemy combatant, sharing that honor as well with other 99 Fighter Squadron pilots. In the middle of this pavilion, you get your chance to fly too. There is a flight simulator available at an additional charge. Also within this pavilion is a restored Army One helicopter used by President Nixon, President Ford, President Carter, President Reagan, and President George H.W. Bush. The sign states that this helicopter is on loan from the National Naval Aviation Museum in Pensacola, Florida. If you have not visited that museum just yet, it is amazing and there's no charge to enter. So I'll include the link to our visit in the description if you'd like to check that museum out. This entire area, the Medal of Honor Aircraft Pavillion, is a visit in all in itself. You can easily spend at least a couple of hours looking around, reading the signs, and there's more because there are aircraft and vehicles all over the grounds of this park. This is just some of it that you're seeing now. Also, the Alabama Coastal Birding Trail is located here. The trail consists of 50 stops organized into 6 different loops, and it offers the opportunity to see both resident and migratory birds. Directing our attention back to the aircrafts and vehicles that we see on the grounds of this park, we will see more as we make our way to the retired World War II warship, USS Alabama. And this is really interesting, this marker right here, because we learned about Tristan da Luna in Pensacola, Florida, when we visited historic Pensacola. Historic Pensacola is made up of historic properties located within the original Spanish and British forts within downtown Pensacola. If you're not familiar with Tristan da Luna or his story, or at least part of his story, Tristan da Luna was a Spanish explorer who founded the first European settlement in North America, which was in present-day Pensacola. However, it was short-lived because 2 years later, a hurricane wiped it out. And now we are reading more of Tristan da Luna's story and Mobile's involvement in that story. I find it interesting always to get a chance to see a different side of a story and therefore get more details too. Okay, so let's make our way up to the battleship. This is our second battleship that we have toured as a family. We did visit the USS Orlick, located in downtown Jacksonville, Florida. This battleship is much bigger than that ship, so let's start taking a look around immediately. We have a lot to see, but we do need guidance, and we do have that, thankfully. Once we paid our admission, we did receive a visitor's tour guide. It offers 3 different tour routes. That is on the inside of the battleship. We are on the outside currently. A little about this battleship as we walk around. This battleship has earned 9 battle stars and shot down 22 enemy airplanes during World War II. The tour guide gives you all of the specs of the ship. I mentioned before that it weighs 25,000 tons when empty and is one of the 4 fast South Dakota class battleships that were built for the Navy for World War II. Each of the battleships was named after a state, and this battleship, the USS Alabama, actually had 2 nicknames. During the war, the ship was called the Mighty A, and also the ship was known as Lucky A because none of its men were lost to enemy fire. Wow, that is incredible. Another one of the South Dakota class battleships that were built for the Navy for the purpose of World War II is the USS Massachusetts, which is also a museum battleship now, and that is located in Fall River, Massachusetts. If you have toured that ship, or even this one, the USS Alabama, before, let us know. We'd love to hear your experience. So we will go ahead and continue our exploration inside of this historic battleship now. And here is a layout of the ship, what we'll be walking through and touring. And this is a really nice luxury for parents on board this ship, a nursing room and a kids compartment. Let's go ahead and take a look inside. This is a really nice, cool place for kids to play, take a break, practice their knot tying skills, and look at this nice, comfortable area for nursing mothers. Oh, so wonderful. We will walk back out of this compartment and walk around the exhibits now. This exhibit is about World War II, and it's not really about the war, about the battles and the action of the war. This exhibit is focused on the war's effect at home here in the United States. What I found interesting inside the Medal of Honor Aircraft Pavilion, there was an exhibit talking about September 11th, and it was saying that when September 11th occurred, it was touted by some as an experience similar to World War II. And the exhibit about September 11th explained that was not the case at all. When September 11th happened, it did affect some Americans, but when America entered World War II, it affected all Americans. Americans had to start gardens. There were rations on meat and other food items for everyone, including children. Carpooling was expected. Everything, food, tires, oil filters, it all needed to be stretched. To see all of these examples within this exhibit and to read about it, it explains it so thoroughly, and it's really fascinating. Okay, so let's take a look around the warship now, and I'll highlight a few areas because a ship this size with so many exhibits, I can't cover it all. And whichever tour you decide to go on to try to see all that this battleship has to offer, there are signs and arrows helping you stay on track and on your correct tour. So this battleship normally had a crew of about 2,500 men, and that is why there's so much food in this kitchen. These tubs are pots, not sure of the correct term, but they are huge. There is a lot of rice that needs to be cooked. Speaking of cooking, London is telling us a fun fact. The movie Under Siege, starring Steven Seagal, was filmed on this ship. Seagal, who was a chef on the ship, was also a former Navy SEAL who, spoiler alert, ended up taking out the bad guys during the movie. That was filmed on both the ship and the submarine, the USS Drum, which we will tour in a bit. Other movies have been filmed here as well, like USS Indianapolis, Men of Courage, featuring Nicolas Cage, and still more films. So we have moved on now, and right now we are seeing some of the other rooms that are part of this battleship, like the engineer's office, also the chapel, a game room, a medical sick bay. In addition to seeing the rooms and reading all of the information, there is also some audio to give us an idea of how the ship was used back during the war. Right now, the radio broadcast of Game 2 of the 1944 Baseball World Series between the St. Louis Cardinals and the St. Louis Browns is being played, and that is what was played for the crewmen as well for their enjoyment. Also for the troops' enjoyment, artists such as Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra, and Duke Ellington, for example, created V-discs or victory discs for the troops. So a lot of effort was put forth to maintain or increase morale while on this battleship. We will move over to the submarine now, the USS Drum. The USS Drum, named after any fish capable of making a drumming noise, is the oldest American submarine on public display. That is a Did You Know fact we shared on our Instagram page. Each Monday, I share a Did You Know fact, something interesting that we come across on our travels. So follow us on Instagram if you've yet to do so, please. Another Did You Know fact, the insignia on the sign, the octopus drumming, that was created and designed by Walt Disney Studios. This insignia was requested from Walt Disney Studios for two reasons. First, to boost morale, as we were talking about previously while we were touring the USS Alabama. Secondly, also to establish individual identity. So as I already stated on Instagram, if you follow us there, then you have heard this fact because I did share this as a Did You Know fact. Walt Disney Studios produced more than 1,200 insignia, emblems, and logos for military vehicles, tanks, planes, boats, and ships. So in the future, I will be on the lookout for those now. London did not care for this submarine. He did not like walking through it because it is narrow, it is tight. He could not imagine being stationed on this submarine. Honestly, I couldn't either. It is a small, tight space, but this small, tight space actually had 7 officers and 65 enlisted troops. So over 70 men were on this submarine. The USS Drum earned 12 battle stars, sank 15 ships, and 80,580 tons of enemy shipping. As we're walking, we are passing by a kitchen, not as big as the one that we saw before, of course, a game room, and cots, and more cots. Even though we couldn't take you all along to see the entire submarine, we still saw a lot more of this submarine than we did of the battleship, of course, because this is smaller and it's pretty much a straight shot. So we have toured 2 World War II vessels, and it is interesting to note that both of these, the USS Alabama and the USS Drum, were together in June 1944 in the South Pacific when they were being refitted for continued combat. And now they are together again at the USS Alabama Battleship Memorial Park. So just a couple more establishments to show you all. Stevie's Kitchen is here serving breakfast, sandwiches, burgers, hot dogs, salads, and more. And of course there is a gift shop with souvenirs representing USS Alabama, USS Drum, World War II, and the 40s, and still more. A large variety to browse and shop and find something to remember your trip by. We hope that you have enjoyed this trip with us and our tour of USS Alabama and USS Drum. Let us know what you think, please. Let us know, is there a favorite part of something that you cannot wait to see? The battleship, the submarine, the aircraft pavilion. Let us know. And if you are planning a trip to Mobile, we'd love to hear about it. And if you found this video helpful with your planning, please hit the like button and let us know. Thank you again for joining us off the couch for this adventure, and join us again too, please. Each and every Saturday, we are off our couch for a new adventure, and we have one final stop in Alabama for now, in Foley, Alabama, at Lambert's Cafe, home of the throwed rolls, known for Southern-style home-cooked meals too. Come hungry, and I mean hungry. Subscribe and join us off the couch again, please. If you yet to do so, sign up also for our monthly newsletter. Each month, we provide travel tips, travel freebies, travel highlights, information hopefully to help you when you find yourself off the couch for your next adventure. The sign up link is in the description and also on our website at offourcouch.com. As always, we want to thank you for joining us off the couch for this adventure here in Mobile, Alabama at USS Alabama Battleship Memorial Park. Thank you, as always, for the likes, comments, suggestions, questions, and feedback. All of you join us off the couch week after week is what makes these adventures possible. So thank you. Until next week, click on the video to see another one of our experiences. Thanks for watching.